Debt can feel like a heavy fog that follows you everywhere. You open your phone, see balances, minimum payments, due dates, and suddenly your chest tightens. You're not alone. Millions of people feel overwhelmed by debt not because they are careless, but because no one ever taught them a clear, simple system for getting out. Debt payoff is not about willpower or extreme sacrifice. It's about structure, clarity, and consistency. This guide is written for beginners, especially those who feel stuck, stressed, or unsure where to begin. Today, we will talk about debt payoff for beginners, where to start when overwhelmed. So, before we start, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Understanding why debt feels so overwhelming. Debt overwhelms people because it creates constant mental noise. Every bill represents a future obligation, and when there are multiple debts, your brain treats them as threats. Interest, penalties, and minimum payments make it feel like you're running on a treadmill that never stops. This emotional pressure often leads to avoidance, ignoring statements, delaying payments, or pretending the problem doesn't exist. The first step is recognizing that overwhelm is not a personal failure. It's a natural response to complexity and uncertainty. Step 1. Stop the bleeding before you run. Before you aggressively pay off debt, you must stop adding new debt. This means pausing unnecessary spending and identifying the habits that keep balances growing. Continuing to use credit cards while trying to pay them off is like trying to drain a bathtub while the faucet is still on. You don't need to live like a monk, but you do need to create a temporary boundary between you and new debt. Step 2. Get all the numbers out in the open. Clarity beats anxiety every time. Write down every single debt you owe: credit cards, personal loans, student loans, medical bills, auto loans, and any money owed to individuals. For each debt, list the balance, interest rate, minimum payment, and due date. This may feel uncomfortable, but uncertainty is far scarier than reality. Once everything is visible, the problem becomes manageable instead of mysterious. Step 3. Build a starter emergency fund. This step surprises many beginners, but it's essential. Before aggressively paying down debt, set aside a small emergency fund, typically $500 to $1,000. This prevents small, unexpected expenses from pushing you back into debt. Without a buffer, one flat tire or medical bill can undo weeks of progress. This is not about saving a lot, it's about creating stability. Step 4. Understand interest and why it matters. Interest is the silent force that keeps people in debt longer than expected. High-interest debt, especially credit cards, grows quickly even when you make minimum payments. Understanding how interest compounds helps you prioritize smarter, not harder. A debt with a 20% interest rate is far more dangerous than one with a 4% rate, even if the balance is smaller. Step 5. Choose a debt payoff strategy. There are two main beginner-friendly strategies, and both work when applied consistently. The debt snowball method focuses on motivation. You pay minimums on all debts, then put extra money toward the smallest balance first. Each payoff creates momentum and confidence. The debt avalanche method focuses on math. You prioritize debts with the highest interest rate first, saving more money over time. The best method is the one you will stick with. Emotional wins matter just as much as financial efficiency when you're overwhelmed. Step 6. Create a simple, realistic budget. A budget is not a punishment, it's a plan. Your goal is not perfection, but awareness. Track your income and essential expenses first: housing, food, utilities, transportation. Then identify areas where money leaks out: subscriptions, impulse spending, convenience costs. Every dollar you redirect toward debt is a step closer to freedom. Step 7. Increase progress without burnout. You don't need a second job to make progress, but small increases help. This could mean negotiating bills, reducing subscriptions, selling unused items, or using bonuses and tax refunds intentionally. The key is sustainability. Burnout causes people to quit. Consistency creates results. Step 8. Automate and simplify. One of the most powerful ways to stay consistent with debt payoff is to remove as much friction as possible. Willpower is limited, especially when you're stressed or busy. Automation turns good intentions into automatic actions, making progress happen even on days when motivation is low. Start by setting up automatic minimum payments for every debt. This protects you from late fees, penalty interest rates, and unnecessary damage to your credit score. Late payments don't just cost money. They create emotional stress and can make the entire process feel harder than it needs to be. Automation ensures you stay current without constantly worrying about due dates. Step 9. Avoid common debt payoff traps. Many beginners don't fail because they lack discipline. They fail because they fall into common traps that quietly undo their progress. These traps often look helpful on the surface, which makes them especially dangerous. Understanding them in advance allows you to move forward with awareness instead of frustration. One major trap is debt consolidation without behavior change. Rolling multiple debts into one loan or payment can feel like progress, but if spending habits stay the same, consolidation simply creates space to accumulate new debt. The problem isn't the number of payments, it's the pattern that caused the debt in the first place. Consolidation should only be used alongside clear spending boundaries and a payoff plan. Step 10. Protect your mental and emotional health. Debt is not just a financial burden, it's an emotional one. Shame, guilt, anxiety, and fear often weigh heavier than the numbers themselves, and these emotions can quietly sabotage progress. Many people avoid opening bills, checking balances, or making plans because debt feels like a personal failure. It isn't. Debt is usually the result of survival decisions, lack of education, unexpected life events, or systems designed to encourage borrowing. Detaching your self-worth from your balance sheet is one of the most important steps in long-term success. Talking about your goals with someone you trust can dramatically reduce stress. Silence amplifies fear, while shared understanding creates relief and accountability. Step 11. Plan for life after debt. Debt payoff is not the finish line, it's the foundation. Once debts are cleared, redirect those payments towards savings, investing, and long-term security. This is where wealth building truly begins. The habits you develop now will determine your future stability and freedom. Debt payoff for beginners is not about dramatic sacrifices or overnight success. It's about replacing chaos with structure and fear with action. Every payment is a vote for a different future. The moment you start is the moment things begin to change. If you liked this video and would like to see more like it, please give it the thumbs up. Leave a comment and click the button to subscribe.